From a venue that's been sold out since it opened back in 2002, there's a look at the home of the Patriots, Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, Mass. Anders Carlson has this teed up, ready to get started. And we are underway in Foxborough. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. They'll run it. Here's the rookie from Ohio State. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll go as a loss of a yard on the game's first play. Second down.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
Short pass caught by Henry. And they're able to get this one across the 35. That one good for 13 at a New England first down.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Looking to throw, May. Right back to Henry, and Henry's got it again. And this will be good for a pickup of 9 to the 46. Good job there to locate his tight end, Charles, in the middle of the field.
Yeah, he has good pass-catching abilities, and if they're able to continue to find him here in the early going, I think it'll help out his teammates out on the perimeter. You can take the big shots later if he occupies their attention.
And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. 4 yards the pickup, first down.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. That's complete. Demario Douglas with it. And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. The Patriot passing game is rolling. They've got another first down. But give the rookie another one on this opening drive and a first down with it. A nice start, Charles, for the first-year passer. He's come out, made a few plays, nice plays to begin this contest.
He certainly has, and if he finishes off this drive with a touchdown pass, I vote we don't call him rookie anymore. We'll move him right to veteran and continue from there.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. That one goes for 30 yards.
And this offense has come out swinging here in the early going. They pick up a nice chunk on that pitch and catch. And the two of them have this offense moving in the right direction to start this game.
They'll run here with Henderson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Quinnen Williams, so hard to block, and he shows it that time, making the tackle for loss.
No daylight for him to run through there, and he ran into the defensive tackle, and that guy blocks a whole lot of daylight as it is. He is truly a big man who just made a big play.
Here's May. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. So apparently some grabbing there in the middle of the O-line.
I've often wondered why that doesn't happen more often for guys that play center. Having to snap the ball and then trying to get your hands into the proper position, that's difficult to do. He got caught that time.
A crucial penalty there as the hold backs him up for another 2nd and goal. Again, it's Henderson. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. Just a 1-yard loss that time, but that's not what they needed. Now they're dealing with a 3rd and long. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Now they go screen. It's complete. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. They'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
I know we saw the pass and the completion and obviously the resulting loss of yardage. To me, that play broke down with the blocking on it, because if you're going to try and swing it that far outside, that blocking's got to hold up to give your guy a chance.
And the defense, they weren't fooled at all.
No, not at all. Boy, were they aggressive on that one.
No touchdown there, but if that first drive is any indication, looks like they're going to have a pretty good day passing the football.
I would say confidence would have to be pretty high after that first drive, able to throw it almost at will. You're exactly right. They didn't get the touchdown, but 3 points serves as a nice notice about how this offense is going to move.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Breaks through the contact. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. And New York set to take the field. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now Hall to start the drive. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down. The success there, Charles, coming on the outside of the field, the ground game. Curious to see if that continues as we progress.
Yeah, we often talk about a variety in play calling and usually between run and pass. But in this case, with strictly the run game, you can be creative there as well. Run it inside, run it outside, keep the defense off balance.
Hall again on 2nd down. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
And Brandon, you know that expression? He just does what he does. It sounds trite, doesn't it? But in this case, it's perfectly apt. This is one of the better runners in the NFL. And all he does is just find avenues, find ways to pick up key 1st downs and big runs.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And nothing much materializing there on the 1st down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held him to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
A play fake, now Fields to throw. And that nearly an interception here on this opening drive, but he gets a reprieve. It's 3rd down.
Those are the ones you dream of as defenders. I think if he gets eyes on the ball a little bit earlier, he might come away with it. Instead, it's going to wind up as just an incomplete pass.
From the 50, here's Fields. And he'll let this go deep for Lazard. This is caught inside the 15. And he takes it all the way down to the 3. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
A very early momentum changer there. Actually a dream killer for the defense because they forced a 3rd down. Felt like they had a good chance to get off the field defensively, and then they got hit with that big play.
They'll run with Hall. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. Breece Hall. A 3-yard touchdown run. And the Jets are able to answer the early 3 points and take a 1st quarter lead. And that caps off what was really a balanced opening drive for them, Charles. They work in the rushing game and the aerial attack, and they end it with a touchdown.
Strong in so many ways, wasn't it, partner? Their ability to throw it and run it and accomplish their goal, they've got to like the way that they started this ball game.
Carlson back out there now to send this one away. The lane opens here. He's past the 30. And he's going to wind up bringing this one inside the 45-yard line. So back onto the field come the Pats for their 2nd drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Patriots. Kendrick Bourne, 43 yards. And the Patriots have retaken the lead. Boy, just zero hesitation from the rookie passer there, partner. He is coming out firing in this opening quarter.
And all the talk leading into this game was that pass rush talking about challenging this guy, getting into his grill, getting into his space. And how about him? Might be his first year in the NFL, but I don't see any fear in him at all. How about that big-time throw right out of the gate?
The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Back onto the field come the New York Jets for their second drive. They'll start on the ground. Hall. And he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Second down and a yard. They'll go again with Hall. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
I know what you're thinking out there. I know a lot of you are thinking, take a shot downfield. It's a great spot for it. I'd say maybe later in the game, definitely in the second half. But right now, I think they were just trying to get some momentum built. Get a first down, pick it up, and keep moving.
Hall on a give up the middle. And he'll get this up past the 45 to the 47. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards. But also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots 37. Give him 15 yards on that one, and the Jets move the chains.
That's really good play design right there, and it's one that comes down to the offensive line. It's a deep in route, but it's only going to work if that line gives you time in the pocket to wait for the route to develop. Mission accomplished there as they pick up the first down.
And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
Offense was moving it a little bit, had them back on their heels, but they earned a brief pause by forcing the incompletion. That gives them a quick chance to regroup and try and mount a stand before they're backed up even further.
Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. Here's Fields. And he goes down. It's a Patriots sack. Christian Barmore getting in there to drop him.
Yeah, some real defensive resistance there, saying not so fast to a good drive. They had marched to the end zone the last time out.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on 3rd down. Now it's Fields. He's got his target. That's complete. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots 17-yard line. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway.
What a drive. This has been just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
To throw is Fields. And that went to the right side and incomplete. Try to get that pass to Jeremy Ruckert. And it's 2nd down. Fields now to throw. Ruckert hauling it in on the out route. And he'll get 7 yards from the 17 to the 10 before he's taken down. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
They'll come up now 3rd and 3. Here's Fields. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. Touchdown! Jeremy Ruckert from 10 yards out. And the Jets have taken the lead.
As a general rule, quarterbacks don't want to lock in on a receiver before the ball is snapped. But in this case, based on the matchup he thought he was going to get, it was favorable for his tight end. He locked in on him early and found him for a touchdown.
Carlson's extra point up and good. And the lead is now 14-10. So after the made field goal, here's Carlson to send it away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. New England's offense set to go. Well, partner, you know, coaches always say that every play is designed to score a touchdown. Sometimes that's not really true, but last drive, that was the case. One play to get into the end zone, and now they'll try to duplicate that success here.
And it's rare for those moments to happen. Incredible when they do. And you saw the celebration. Pure, unbridled joy after that one.
And he takes us up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
Partner, he sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
Throwing here is May. Open man is born. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. That goes as a gain of 11 and a Patriot first down.
Well, certainly as a fan, you get a little bit nervous when you see him make those kind of throws. But they work on that in practice more than we know. And most of them now know their limits and know what they can get away with. And there's a completion right there.
An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. Start of the second quarter from Foxborough. It's the homestanding Patriots with the football. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. As they've got it as we resume action. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. 12 more yards there and another first down.
Would you say this offense is locked in right now?
They're having no trouble on this drive. What is it, 3 plays, 3 first downs?
Yeah, you talk about on the march. They keep this up, they'll get to that end zone real fast.
They'll throw with May. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble.
As we both know, there was a lot that went into why they made him their first-round pick this year, and part of it was what they saw in college, his playmaking ability when things break down. As soon as he saw he wasn't getting a lane to throw, he pivoted and found an alternate way to the marker.
Henderson now on 1st and 10. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown. A 22-yard scamper. And the Patriots have yet again retaken the lead. Well, they've done a pretty good job keeping him in check to that point, but he finally breaks off a nice run here and gets into the end zone.
And it just takes one, doesn't it, partner? That can undo a lot of good work that a defense has done to that point. You break off one right there, and everything suddenly looks bad for you.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. So out now come the Jets. They'll start with the option. Give him 4 yards there on the first down keeper.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and makes sure he spills it for a small gain.
From the 33, here's a second down and 6. Now Fields. That's taken in, complete to Reynolds. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch, and that'll leave him with a third and just a yard.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Play action. It's Fields. And unable to connect. If he had caught it, it would have been a first down. Instead, it's 4th.
That could be the stop this defense needed to get them back on track. They've been pretty well dissected by the offense here in the first half. After that possession, now they know that they can compete with this offense.
On 4th down, here's the veteran Thomas Morstead to punt for the Jets. Back deep for New England is Marcus Jones. Fair catch called for and made at the 16 or maybe the 17-yard line. A 41-yard punt there with no return. And the Patriots take over. To the air, May. Douglas with a grab over the middle. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Ball on the 27. Here's second down and a yard. From the gun, a give to Henderson. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 40 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. 2nd
and 1 is often an invitation to take the big shot downfield. But I bet the offensive lineman said, are you kidding? We just get on our backs and let's go get the first down. They love being physical.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. To throw, it's May. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. From the shotgun, it's May. And he'll slide to a halt here, still a little shy of the first down marker. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
Back to throw here. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he will have a Patriots first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that's well executed there on 3rd down. And I love the confidence that they had to let their tight end try and find some space in the middle of the field, right in their quarterback's line of vision. And QBs love to make that easy throw, and they hooked up there for a first down.
From the gun, it's May. On the throw, led him too much that time. It's incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. They'll set up a throw. Short pass caught by Henry. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5.
Such a tough position to defend near the line, even when you add a second defender, but the big man shrugged off the extra body and made the play call a success.
And on 3rd and 5, this will be the 8th. With it. Now throw right side here, going to be incomplete.
Like what I see so far out of this defense because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
So on 4th down, here's Bryce Behringer on to punt for the Patriots. That one sails out of bounds. The side judge will walk it off. And he says it went out of bounds at the 9-yard line. Nice punt. The offense for the Jets ready to take over. Well, they're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. Straight ahead is Hall. And mark him down way up close to the 40 at the 39. Good yardage as he rumbles for 24 and a first. They went with the nickel look defensively, so they had 5 defensive backs in there. Didn't help them stop the run.
Yeah, I love that. The nickel look, 5 cents, 5 DBs. But what also happens then, you take a big body off the field in order to insert that guy. So you're taking a big off for a little, and oftentimes you can run the football effectively against that defense.
On 1st down, right back to Hall. He'll take it past the 40 to the 41, 2nd down.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
Back to throw, Fields. He's got the hook up to Lazard. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. 10 yards is the pickup, good enough for a Jet 1st down.
And that play came together really well for them as he found open space, makes the catch, and gets down to the 1-yard line. You know he's kicking himself right now. He thought he had a chance to get a touchdown and put that in his ledger. Instead, his team gets a chance to cash in over these next few plays.
And a pretty athletic run right there as he's going to get this down inside the 40. 73 yards for him on the ground so far tonight as he has been terrific in this first half.
Partner, there are strong running plays, and then there are plays where you simply outclass the defense, and we saw the latter there. They ran straight up the heart of that front for an excellent gain and 1st down. Simply put, you've got to put up more of a fight defending the middle. Otherwise, this is going to be a long game.
And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3.
He's had success on this drive, but not on this play.
Finally, they bowed up defensively. I think they were determined not to let him take it pretty much all the way down the field.
Yeah, it looks like they handled their run responsibilities correctly this time. What we call them run fits, everyone was in the right place.
Here's Hall again. And he'll go down at the 28. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
Well, if they continue to run the football this strong, right up the middle, I don't know if they can wait till halftime to make adjustments. They better find a way to get it done series to series. I don't know if they need to sub some guys out, bring in extra people, maybe change what they're doing on the defensive side of the ball. But right now, they're running the ball very well right at them and right up the middle.
A throw left sideline falls incomplete.
So it looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Fields. Over the middle and complete to Wilson. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Looking to throw. Fields. And this is going to be incomplete.
I wonder, Brandon, I just wonder, you think maybe he was worried about where he was on the field? Was he far enough? Was he close enough to the first down sticks?
Absolutely. He was right there by him, and I think he was thinking first down before he caught that football.
Yeah, got to catch it first, because if you don't catch it, there's no chance of picking up a first down.
And this one is right through, and that will tie things at 17 all. So no problems at all on that one. And you know, there's virtually no win. This is a kicker's dream here tonight.
It absolutely is, isn't it? So to me, with no wind, it should be a passer's dream as well, right? But in this case, the defense held out. They had to force the field goal.
(17-17) the score. All even to this point as the kick's away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. Out comes the New England offense to see what they can do this time. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced a punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive, 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Looking to throw, May. Short pass caught by Henry. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that will bring up 2nd down.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. So from the 37, here's 2nd and 4. Henderson running straight ahead. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47. 56 yards rushing now on 8 carries for him so far. There was a little space there, yes, but that was a well-executed run by the rookie.
It was, and he wasn't one of the higher-rated rookie running backs coming out. He's probably on the next tier. But let me tell you something. If he becomes more consistent and continues to have that drive to be one of the best, we'll see more of that in the future.
This is caught inside the 15. And he's in. Touchdown, Patriots. Stephon Diggs, 47 yards. And the Patriots have moved out in front. Well, partner, I mean, if anybody was still questioning whether or not he had an NFL caliber arm, I think you can toss that right out the window. That was a heck of a throw right there.
I would agree totally. Question it no more. This rookie, big-time throw right there. Great poise, stepped up, trusted he could lay it in there perfectly, and he knew that his guy was going to make the catch on the other end. Nice collaboration.
The kicking unit out for the Patriots as they send this one away. A solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gassed,
right?
Yeah,
a little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
From the gun, here's Fields. He gets it underneath to Hall. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
And this incomplete. He tried to check it down to his running back and nearly had the ball picked.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8.
Fields throwing again.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Now the Patriots going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. Here's Thomas Morstead on now to punt it away on 4th down. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return.
The Patriots with the football here late in this first half. And with a little under a minute to go, still time to try to put a drive together to add to their lead should they so choose. Here's May.
And the Jets pressure too much as down he goes.
Jermaine Johnson
In there to bury him for a loss of 11.
Well, that's what they have to do more of defensively. Not just getting sacks, but they have to keep getting in his face, not let him get his feet set and deliver. He's been carving them up previously.
Yeah, already has a couple of touchdown passes. About time they put a few grass stains on that jersey.
They don't want to repeat a first down. They'll keep it on the ground.
And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making them sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. The Jets will bring in a nickel set here as they try to stop this third down. Once again, they'll keep it on the ground. And he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25. And they're going to take a timeout defensively. So with fourth down coming up, they go ahead and burn it and say we'll see what happens.
Here's Bryce Behringer now.
Fair catch called for and taken right near the 30-yard line. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. Both these offenses have been in fine form. What will the second half bring us as we are underway in quarter 3?
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Now the Jets going to take over on offense to begin this third quarter. Well, Charles, in that first half, we saw a fair amount of offense on both sides of the football, and now the team trailing here will start with it in the third quarter.
And we both know this coach pretty darn well, don't we? Because his game planning is always on point. And now that he's getting the ball to start the second half, how about all the offense that you already referenced in the first half? He'll put that all together and come out with something really strong, I believe, to get things going here in the third quarter.
92 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Hall again on second down.
And he'll fight forward maybe to the line of scrimmage, but that's all. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on second down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on third down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It'll go as a gain of 11 and a Jets first down.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
Hall again.
And he'll take it across the 50 and into New England territory. Give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
From the 48-yard line, here's 2nd and 6. They'll give to Hall.
2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a 3rd and about 4 for a first.
He's definitely tough to get down. We just saw it right there. But how about what we did see? Pursuit, wrap up, and then the big finish with the tackle.
Here is 3rd down and 4. Now it's Fields. Able to find the open man. That's complete.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. It's a first down, his 4th catch of the game after having 3 in the first half.
And that's how you pick up a first down. Not only does he make the catch, but has enough body control to get his feet down inbounds, toe tapping and dragging to make sure he gets it done.
And his throw's going to be incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
2nd and 10. To throw is Fields.
Flushed out right. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes.
Milton Williams, his 2nd sack of the night. And keep in mind, in addition to the 2 sacks that he now has, CD, he's also had a couple of quarterback hurries. He's been very disruptive.
To put it mildly, and it reminds me of the time I asked an offensive tackle who struggled like this in a game. He said he was telling the coach, hey, what do you want me to do? This guy's just eating me alive. And the coach finally just looked at him and said, applaud.
And that is incomplete.
I think he could have scanned downfield forever, but there wasn't anything available. Ends up throwing an incompletion, and I think he'll take that.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New York. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Patriots now. They get ready for their first possession of half number 2. They have played so strongly. You look at the scoreboard, you probably, with the way they played, you would think the margin would be a lot bigger, right?
You would. And in your experience, how many times have we run into coaches where they've talked about, hey, we just want to put it in the hands of our defense and have them win the game? In this case,
yeah, not the case.
Not at all. You want to put it in the hands of your offense, but you always feel better about seeing defense because you think defense is a constant and offense kind of comes and goes. Today, this game, no, they need their offense to stay on a really hot level.
They've been hot so far. Again from the 20 after the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, they give to Henderson. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
That 2nd down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable 3rd down because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
They'll come up facing 3rd and 5.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw.
That is caught, and he will have a Patriots first down. He needed 5. He got it barely, as it will officially go down as a gain of 5 yards.
And that's understanding where the markers are, because it's not just running to them. Because on the catch, you could actually be pushed back before the first down. It's getting past it and allowing that opportunity to drift back towards the first down line and still having picked it up. Really well run.
He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
Line of scrimmage, the 24. This is 2nd and 6.
He'll look to throw. The left side caught by Diggs. The result, only 4 yards there on the play. And now it's 3rd and 3.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Henderson will try and run for the first. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. Give him 6 yards in the first down.
Well, it wasn't a goal line situation, but how about the goal line formation on 3rd and short? They went in and went heavy. No surprise on who was going to get the football. How about the power exhibited there?
Yeah, that was just put a hat on a hat, drive forward. Nice job to pick it up. They'll go back to Henderson on 1st down. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
I'll tell you what, this defense hasn't played its best, but they're still right in this football game. And if they keep making plays just like that, they're going to give their offense a chance.
A small bit of adversity here on what's been a strong drive as they come up 2nd and 12. Now flags come in. Looked like one of the Patriots might have moved. And that false start penalty certainly not helping their cause here. 2nd down and long.
Throwing here is May.
And incomplete on the deep ball. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw.
He's got his target. That's complete.
And all the way in. Touchdown, New England. Kendrick Bourne, his 2nd touchdown of the night.
And the Patriots have taken a 2-touchdown lead now.
And remember, partner, that's a rookie quarterback back there. Apparently, he's getting the hang of this NFL thing pretty quickly.
Had 3 touchdown passes. You're right, he looks comfortable. What are they doing? Anything in particular?
Well, they keep talking about making sure they're giving him plays that fit his talents and also maybe shrinking the playbook a little bit. They did tell us that. Bottom line, he's really good.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
Now the Jets offense, they get ready to head back onto the field.
Over on the sideline, hoping to hit that reset button between possessions. Last time out, they had to punt it away. This time hoping to finish this thing off in the end zone.
They'll start on the ground here on 1st down. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. The drive starting with a 1st down, 11 yards on that pickup.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
A handoff for Hall.
And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
Out of the gun, they run it with Hall. And he'll be pretty well stopped in his tracks. Give him a yard up to the 42.
Well, that's not a run that's going to make any of the highlight tapes, but they've been moving it well all game on the ground. This is another one that keeps them moving forward.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Here's Fields. Throw out wide is incomplete.
Looks like another empty possession offensively. And you're at that point of the game where you can't afford too many more of these. So this is going to require some heavy thinking on the sideline to figure out what they can do to crack this defense.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And a fair catch called for and made just outside the 15-yard line. It'll be a 39-yard punt, no return.
New England trying to get a place on offense. Well, certainly they'd rather have the scenario they had last time out, Charles. Remember, they had the short field. They took it in the end zone. Now this is going to have to be a longer, more sustained drive if they want to get points.
Yeah, a little bit more of a quick strike opportunity last time by where they were on the field, and you're exactly right about that. But now, backed up a little bit. What's that old expression we love to use? Time to matriculate the ball down the field and try and do it again.
Right off the bat, it's a first down to start the drive, 12 yards.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
No gain on the play there, 2nd down.
His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
Short pass caught by Henry. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37. Gain of 9.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. And that's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
And he will have a Patriots first down, and comfortably so, as he gets 5 there on 3rd and a yard.
Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on 3rd and less than a yard.
Yeah, but the way the NFL is nowadays, we hardly ever see anyone really run for it on short yardage. So they're going to throw the football more times than not. That was a nice, easy rhythm throw right there, and they pick up the first down.
And able to work about 5 yards out of this as he's taken down up near the 47.
Nice, satisfying run on first down for the offense, picking up 5, which means defensively, the thought process is entirely different. You don't want to panic, but at the same time, you're saying to each other, we've got to tighten this down. We can't give up gains like that.
They'll throw with May.
And Diggs has it. And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 32-yard line. A gain there of 21 yards.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them, and these guys have been taking advantage so far.
To the air, May.
He'll find Diggs once more on the completion. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. 10 more for him on that one. He's been a busy man. It's a first down.
This offensive game plan has just been sensational. I mean, when you think about all the different ways they've gotten their receivers open so far, it's really been impressive. Scheme, design, execution.
1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Foxborough. We get set for the 4th quarter. Patriots have the lead. They also have the football.
To throw, it's May.
This one to Bourne out on the left side. It'll be a gain of 5, and it'll be 2nd down.
And we've seen him have success earlier on with the ball in his hands because he is a get it in space and make a play kind of a receiver. But that time, they closed on him quickly and held him to a short gain.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Up the middle, here's Henderson.
And all the way down inside the 5 to the 4. A solid pickup of 12 yards, and now they're knocking on the door.
As I take a look at the clock, I realize that this drive has eaten up a good portion of the 4th quarter already. Got to tell you, partner, when you're trying to salt away a game, this is exactly what it's supposed to look like.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal.
May now off the bootleg. The quick throw knocked away. It's incomplete.
Coaches talk about it all the time. Players talk about it as well. Excellent job staying disciplined in coverage and making that stop. Inside the red zone, every stop like that could be preventing a possible touchdown.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line. 2nd and goal.
Henderson is into the end zone for a Patriot touchdown.
And that right there is the definition of a statement drive. You're in the 4th quarter, trying to get to the finish line, and here they were able to hold the ball for a long time and move it down the field. And how about them finishing it off with the touchdown run? Winning football 101? Check that box.
Extra point splits the uprights, and the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. The kicking unit out for the Patriots as they send this one away.
And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26.
And New York set to take the field.
Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, that's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnelled. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
From the 35, here's 2nd and a yard. Now Fields.
He'll find Lazard here over the middle. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A gain there of 21 yards.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays, you don't react as fast as you should on other throws.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard.
Just need a yard here. 2nd and 1. Here's Fields.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Throwing again is Fields. And this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to.
He did a fine job there of not hitting him before the ball arrived, and I've got to tell you, you can often mistime that play because of the angles of approach. When you're going to get him, sometimes you panic as well and think, I've got to be there right now. Instead, in this case, timed it perfectly and knocked it free.
And he's brought down, but not before picking up the first with a very effective stiff arm. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
He's been tough for this defense to handle, over 100 yards. You kind of knew that they were going to him on that play, didn't you?
They certainly did. That's one of those situations where you simply say, my best runner over my best blockers, let's go ahead and pick it up. And I don't care if they know it on the other side. Here we come, and they got it done.
Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5. You got the big lead defensively. willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
Here's a give to Hall. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal.
So after a run like that, I will guarantee that the head coach is saying to himself, maybe even over his headsets to the rest of the staff, where was that all game long? We needed that. That's the type of run we planned for going into the game. Didn't get much of that, but let's move it forward. Let's build on it, get ready for the next one.
And he's in. Touchdown, Jets.
Jeremy Ruckert.
A beast in the red zone with his 2nd touchdown of the game.
And the Jets have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. So a little bit of a letdown there defensively. I mean, look, you're still 2 scores to the good, CD, but things may be a little more uncomfortable than they had hoped.
Yeah, if you'd kept them out of the end zone there, this game's over. You've locked the door on them. Instead, it's still open a little bit, and they've got a puncher's chance.
So now Carlson, after the touchdown, called on to send this one away. And a decent return out to the 27-yard line.
The Patriot offense now set to come back out onto the field.
Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
A carry by Henderson to start the drive. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
Douglas, the man in motion.
On play action, May.
And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage.
I like how he hung in there and went through his progressions, but eventually his internal clock went off and told him it was time to make a run for it, and he ends up sliding down with a solid gain.
Here's 3rd and 7.
Looking to throw.
He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44.
And the Jets will take over. New York's offense back out there and set to go. Well, still a long way to go, but trending upward. They scored the last time out, you remember. Then their defense forced the punt. Now they try to inch closer, but still ultimately down 2 scores in the final quarter. They'll start on the ground. Hall.
They find some open field here. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. 23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
From the 50, here's Fields. This pass out wide to Hall.
And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and that'll bring up 2nd down. He's already proven to be a factor in the running game on this drive. Now he gets involved in the passing game.
I think what we're seeing here is the modern version of workhorse in the NFL, being able to run it and catch it with equal proficiency.
Buying time to his left. And he's going to get this inside the 30.
Fields, we know he has the good mobility. He flashes it there as he scrambles for the first down.
He certainly isn't looking at the scoreboard out there because, to me, all he's concerned about is analyzing the field and making most of the time left in this game. Deficit's still there, but he's starting to hit them with some big plays.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall.
And he is out of bounds right around the 10-yard line. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays.
They're making it look easy out there. Another first down. So far on this drive, let me do this little bit of math here. 4 plays, 3 first downs.
That's a pretty good recipe for success.
A shotgun snap, Fields.
His throw incomplete.
Yes, sir. How about an attaboy there on first down? Got his hand in and knocked it away.
Trying to find Breece Hall out of the backfield.
But it'll be 2nd and goal.
Back to throw, Fields.
And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down.
Multiple defenders there to drop him for a loss of 4.
Oh, you can just see it in their body language. They're starting to see victory on the horizon now, and if it comes to fruition, they got to give a game ball to the front 7. Defensive line has taken charge and controlled this game. Face a challenge of stopping this opposing offense, and they've done so with ease.
Now Fields on 3rd and goal.
And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. A 14-yard touchdown.
And the Jets have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th. Well, time to let those folks know who are tuning in looking for the late local news. And we may be a moment because we've got a game again.
And, partner, except for those on the West Coast where it'll be seen in its regular time, right? That's the way it works, doesn't it? But how about that? Big-time drive right there. If they're going to have any chance, they needed a touchdown there, and they went right down the field and worked their way into the end zone.
Carlson back out there now to send this one away. And they'll start this drive just across the 30. Pretty nice work on the return. New England's offense set to go.
This game has really flipped on its head. 2 unanswered touchdowns by the other side, and now they take over here with just a very slim one-score lead.
And we've seen this how many times now? Teams get a big lead, they go into coast mode, and all of a sudden they're scrambling and battling for a win down the stretch. They've got to put something together right here, otherwise they're in danger of doing the old snatching defeat from the jaws of victory. I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tougher, guys trying to get to the football.
And he stopped after a gain of 1. Not enough. Still a yard to go on 3rd down.
I like that run right there, partner. Not the flashiest run, not the one that's going to break for big yardage, but he understands the situation, and taking care of the football, paramount, and he got it done.
Nursing that slim lead, you're exactly right. Hold on to that ball.
They'll run the option on 3rd and short yardage.
And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. Nice pickup, 10 yards and a first down on the keeper.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone who has the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
Yeah, it'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the 4th.
And a strong run there as he'll take this all the way down to the 35.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, They've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Five points of contact necessary at this stage as they'll run on first down.
And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. This, in all probability, another run here on 2nd and 8. They run once more with Henderson. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line.
At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. They'll run here with Henderson. And he's over the line and into the end zone for a Patriots score. Taking it in from a yard out.
And the Pats get an important score there to extend their lead here in this fourth quarter. So he had the nice run to get him down there, was stopped just short of the goal line, but they go right back to him, CD, and he delivers to finish the drive off.
A little extra determination there, don't you think, partner? You notice he didn't tap on his helmet and say, get me out after the run down to the end zone. He said, I almost got in. I'm going to get in on my own. I'm staying in. And he carries it across the goal line.
The kicking unit out for the Patriots as they send this one away.
And out a little across the 25 to the 27.
So the Jets now down by 2 touchdowns. 1:40 remaining. Field goals useless at this point. They need 2 touchdowns, and they need them in short order.
Fields now to throw.
Finding Allen. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. And right now, defensively, you love that, don't you? I mean, you'll give them that play.
And they'll take it every single time. This is almost like nickeling and diming it downfield, and too much time's going to run off the clock.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Fields.
It's caught by Ruckert. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
1 timeout at their disposal, but more pressing is the need for 2 scores, obviously. Here's 1st and 10.
Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
Limited time left on the clock after that incompletion, so I think both sides are going to savor every second to prepare before the next snap. Because once the ball's in motion, it may be a nonstop push to finish this drive off. Everyone better be on the same page right now, because I think they're going to try and get several plays off in quick succession if they can.
That is caught. Josh Reynolds. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Patriots 42.
But one of the ways that quarterbacks keep all the receivers alive in a play, never lock in on any one guy. Make sure you keep your eyes moving, scan the field. And here he finds the open guy for a nice pickup.
To throw is Fields.
That's complete right side to Lazard. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. Clock management definitely critical here if they want to get back in this game.
Absolutely agreed. They have to up the tempo in this case, down a couple of scores. Want to make sure they have a chance to win this ball game.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Now it's Fields.
And this is caught for a touchdown. So hang on now. Things just got a little bit more interesting here in the final minute.
And there's the touchdown that they needed, so they'll celebrate. But the guys on the sidelines, they've got to stay focused. The onside kick team, they need them to get the ball back.
Yeah, part one of the equation done. Now they need to convert and get that onside kick.
Carlson's extra point up and good.
And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. .35 seconds to play. Everything will come down here to this onside kick. And the Patriots are going to recover, and that should just about assure victory. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that, just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. The Jets going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. So he'll take a knee here to wrap this one up, and he's going to want to keep that game ball. He was sensational.
Listen, anytime you take a knee to end a game, that means you've won it. So it doesn't matter whether it's home or on the road, but there's something a little extra special about doing it in front of your home crowd, isn't there?
And the home crowd applauding. They're happy with what they've seen. Chalk this one up in the left-hand column for a win.
Yeah, that's right. Head to the locker room, throw the wristbands in the crowd for the kids, your gloves, your towels. Get to share it with the home team.
Charles, normally when you see a group score this many points, it's a complete blowout. But instead, they needed every single one of those in this close, high-scoring affair.
And, Brandon, I'm still on the edge of my seat after that one, because when you have that much scoring and it still comes down to a one-possession game at the end, that's not something we see very often. And in this case, these offenses, they brought it. The defenses, they're going to need some work going forward.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. And this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. The Patriots winners here at home as we say so long from Foxborough.